hope you're doing well. So, a lot of stuff happened in July. So figured I'd make a whole update video about my life. Because it is... Nothing bad happened, really. Nothing like, detrimental, but it was just like a super busy month. So I didn't make any videos for this channel, because it's hard sometimes to find the time and energy to like pull the camera out, especially when the camera keeps going out on jobs, to, sit down, set everything up, and get going. But it's nice, I like doing it, and I'm reading a book right now, called, 4,000 Weeks, I think it's called. We're loading it. Yeah, 4,000 Weeks, Time Management for Mortals by Oliver Berkman. Can we focus on that? Yeah. And that's through the Libby app. P.S. If you don't have the Libby app, you should download the Libby app. This is not sponsored. This is just good advice. There's an app. It's called Libby, Libby. And if you have a library card, you put it in. You can check out audiobooks and ebooks through the Libby app, and it's pretty awesome. So yeah, I've read several books through that app, but the one I'm reading right now is called 4,000 Weeks, and it's an interesting productivity book, time management book, in that it kind of goes in the face of all the other books you read, which all the other books you read are very much like you just need to do more. You just need to set up systems and habits. And this book is the first book I've read where it's like, no, don't do that. You have a finite amount of time, and you have to accept that, and then decide what you're just not gonna do. And you're like, oh, okay. And then so it's like, it talks about, figuring out what's important. I think there was one quote in the last chapter I just read that really just hammered home to me. And it was, you're never gonna, this is paraphrasing, but it's like you're never gonna have time to do the things you want, which is this. So you kind of just have to steal time away and deal with the consequences of what doesn't get done. And I was like, oh, okay. Like I've known that before of like, like there's some things you just have to not care about. Like my kitchen is always dirty and I just don't care about that. And I just have to be like, okay, that's fine. This desk that I'm at right now is a crazy mess. And I just have to like, not care about that. So, yeah, so stealing time away today in the middle of the day when I normally be working on some edits, to make an ASMR video because it's been too long. So, anyway, let's recap what happened in July. All the stuff that happened in July. So many things happened in July. There's so many stories. I'll go backwards. Okay, first things first. I read 4 books. And the first one, the one I want to talk about was Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist. I love that movie, so I read the book. And it was the first time where the book was worse than the movie. The movie's better. Go see the movie. And here's why, is that the book is much more grounded in realism, which, to be fair, I think the first time I saw Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist, that was my biggest critique, is like, this isn't realistic. And the book is a lot more realistic, whereas the movie is much more whimsical, and I love the whimsy of it. I think that's, at the first time I watched it, I was like, well, that's not, these kids are in high school, and they're just allowed to be out in New York City all day. Oh, I don't think so. And you're like, nah, I don't care. I don't care because it's whimsical, it's fun, and I don't care. They could have just made a couple changes and put them in college, and that would have been fine. I don't know why they didn't do that. Maybe to sell the movie to high school kids, which was maybe the target demographic. I don't know. But I still love it as a 36-year-old man. And I'm going to keep loving it. It's a good movie. And Andy Samberg has a big cameo in it. Andy Samberg's great. We love Andy Samberg. Yeah, so that happened. I shot a music festival. I took 7,500 photos, basically, at a music festival, and I'm working on those now. I've run through about half of them, and I'm pretty happy with that. I did get heat stroke because it was like 100. It felt the heat index was like 106 the first day, and so like there was a couple days where I got dizzy and I was like, I gotta go sit down in air conditioning. Oh boy. And yeah, it took a day or two to recover from that. But I'm fine now. I think I'm doing better. I'm back on the Zevia. I'm on the Zevia horse. Zevia, mountain Zevia. I've been getting really into the liquid hydration packets because I had been doing the Gatorade Zero packets, and now I'm starting to like realize like maybe my taste buds are changing since I'm like off the soda a lot more. I'm drinking way less soda than I used to, and it just kind of tastes chemically to me. Maybe they changed the formula, so I'm kind of getting off those, and I'm switching over to, I've been doing BioSteel, and then a friend of mine at the music festival gave me a liquid IV, and I was like, oh, this is good. The problem is those are more expensive. So if you drink the hydration packet thingies and you like one of them, tell me, because I want to try them all and then figure out which ones I like the best. Right now, BioSteel, and then there's a Gatorade with protein. It's like a fruit punch Gatorade with protein. Those are kind of my go-tos. The BioSteel one is slightly better for you, I think, but it's more expensive. And then the liquid IV felt really good when I had heat stroke. But it's the most expensive. But you can get it on Amazon for less than you get at the grocery store. So anyway, I think it's because I'm on so many medications for my diabetes. I feel like I'm chronically dehydrated no matter how much water I drink. But also I think I'm not drinking enough water. So, it's both. What else happened in July? Oh, okay. My girlfriend was gone for, I'm looking at my photos for memories. My girlfriend was gone for 2 weeks. She went to a family reunion, and it's like they do like this family trip where they visit grandpa who's on the way, and then they go to a family reunion, and then they stop back at grandpa's house, and they do it like every year, and they take like, it's like 2 weeks out to do it, and like that's just so weird to me, because it's like one side of my grandparents are dead, but like they lived in town, and we saw them at holidays, and then the other side of my grandparents, one of them is dead, and yeah, I don't think I've seen them in like a decade, because my family had like a falling out or something with them, like my dad did, but I think he's like still repairing that bridge, as his parents were and are on their way out. So, but I still haven't seen grandpa on that side since I was like 10. So it's been 20 years or something like that. Where was it going? Oh yeah, so she was gone. So I rearranged this whole office. That's why the Godzilla is gone. And so I took my desk and I put it right here next to, this is where her desk is. It's like right next to it. I'm just gonna pan over. So that's her desk. And I put my desk not there, but like right here. And she got home and she hated it. And what the thing that killed me is she was like, oh, but then my back's to the door. And I was like, babe, my back has been to the door for 2.5 years. I'm like, you are in here like maybe once a week, like, and technically your back is still to the door. Like, she's like, oh, I don't like it. And I was like, whatever, fine. So I moved it all back, and I was just a little miffed about that because I wanted mega desk where I have one desk that was everything, and then I could see the door from my chair. But best laid plans, right? Gotta keep the happy wife, happy life, etc. I don't know. I'm a really good boyfriend. I'm too good of a boyfriend. You're watching this, babe. You're on notice. I'm done being good. I'm not. Please don't be mad at me. I love you. What else happened? I had a bunch of new experiences. I photographed a lot of things. I went on a lot of walks and park adventures with the dog. 4th of July happened. That was fun. Ate a bunch of good food. And then I bought this thing. It's a weight bench that has like a leg developer on it. Leg developer is like a leg extension, leg girl. see if they take it. And she took it, and I was like, sweet. And so I got there, and I show up, and I was like, oh, you're selling like all this workout stuff? And she's like, yeah, do you want any of it? And I was like, is this like a drug thing? And she was like, no, my soon-to-be ex-husband ran out on me and just said, sell it and send me the money. So I don't care. And I was like, okay. She's like, do you don't want any weights or anything? And I was like, oh boy. I was like, the people will give you actual money for the weight. I was like, well, I'll take some of these small ones, which, to be fair, like, I took the 10-pound Olympic plates. It's like, no one wants those. So I was like, okay, I gave her, it like, what was way too little money. And then she had like so many Legos, and I was like, you got so many Legos. She's like, you want Legos? And I was like, yes, but I, like, those are worth actual money. Like, get actual money from people. Because, like, that's, she's like, well, she said to just give them to the son. Like, our kid is like 15. He doesn't care about them. And I was like, yeah, then you could call, I gave her the name of, like, this Lego reselling store. So hopefully she got a good deal from them. They've always been good to me. It's like this chain called Bricks and Minifigs. Real cool store. It's kind of like a Lego store when there isn't a Lego store, but it's locally owned. And every time I've ever sold something to them, like, I used to have more Legos, but I was like, man, I don't need these. I sold them, and they gave me a pretty decent, like, what I would say is a fair rate. Obviously it's not like market value, but like, I think they gave me like $80 for one set that was probably like $60 new, but like was probably worth like $120 on the current market. Legos are oddly collectible. Like, I feel like if you went and you bought Legos, like, it'd be really hard to do this at like a large scale, but like, you could invest in Legos if you had a way to store them like safely in like a humidity controlled, temperature controlled area, and like wrap them real good in plastic so nothing, no mice or anything got into them. I think you could double your money in 10 years or something like that. But I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. What else happened? I'm trying to think of, like, I felt like I had more to talk about, and now I'm like, should have took notes. Should have wrote stuff down. With my girlfriend being gone, it was so just like, what else? Oh man, okay, so I missed a shoot for the first time ever. I had a shoot at this nonprofit. They relocated. It's hard to explain what it is. It's really cool. It's like a technology library. So it's this place in Omaha called Do Space. You can look it up if you want. And they used to have this really awesome location right on like the main intersection of our town. And because of, oh man, I could get way in the weeds on this, politics with the library, they shut down our main branch, our headquarters, the library headquarters that is downtown, because it was so there's like think of like a Central Park. Omaha has something like that. It's called the Gene Leahy Mall, and it's very, it's similar, but it's not. Like, the concept is the same, but it's much smaller. And the library was like right at the doorstep of that, and they just redid it, and it looks awesome, and people love it. But there's a company called Mutual of Omaha, and they wanted to build their new headquarters there, which they didn't need because most of their employees are working from home now. So why are they building a skyscraper? But like, a skyscraper, it's like 50 stories, like whatever. And so they wanted it there, and through some backdoor deals, they bought it out and then tried to sell the city of Omaha, like the people, that it would make more sense for the library headquarters to be centrally located, which is on that where that 2 space was, and technically the library owns 2 space, so they like bought them out kind of, and were like, you have to move. We're taking this space and they're gonna bulldoze the building and build something new there. And then so 2 space had to go to like a satellite location, and yeah, so that's the long version of the story. And so I was gonna go shoot their grand reopening at the new location, and I don't know what happened. I knew I had to shoot the next day, and I was up late, and then I just went to bed and like didn't set any alarms, and I woke up to like 5 text messages and like 4 calls, and I was like, shit. And it was like noon. It was like way after the grand opening event thing was, and so like because they wanted me to be there at like 7:30, 8 o'clock, and I was like, oh, and I just forgot that I had to be anywhere the next day. But it's so weird because like I was looking forward to it all week, and I was even, the new location is right by my friend Django's house, and I had to go drop something off at his house. So I was like, that'll be great, I'll go do that, and then I'll drop it off at his house. And before I went to bed, I took the thing I have to drop off at Django's house and set it aside, so I remember to go take that to Django. But then I totally forgot I had to do anything before that. It's weird, but luckily they were like super okay with it. They're like, oh no, we just had the librarians take photos with their phone. I was like, that's not the same. But they seemed fine with it, and then I went later and did some makeup pictures for him for free, so. But still, that was like the only time in like 13 years that's ever happened, so. More stuff that happened. I got some new microphones. It's called a contact mic, and so instead of like this uses sound waves in the air, this uses vibrations. So you put it on things, and then it picks up the vibrations, and somehow it gets sound through that. It's real wild. I'm real excited to do it. Use it for ASMR stuff. I got 2 of them, and I've kind of been playing with them, but I haven't played with this one, which will go into this big camera and make some cool ASMR stuff, because that's good. Because right now my desk is the messiest mess it's ever been. I wonder if I can show you with if I do the front-facing camera. Can you see if we zoom in here? Do you see how messy this desk is? It's just because when I moved everything, I put this desk was kind of like the catch space, and so a lot of stuff ended up. So it's just a pile of stuff, and there's barely enough space to put my drinks, and that's it. So I'm gonna get through that here. That'll be the next thing I tackle, or maybe I'll get some work done and then take a break and tackle this mess a little bit. And I bought a new camera. I got a Canon R6 Mark II. Really excited about it, but also slightly bummed because I realized that. So I bought my last camera, the Canon R6 Mark I, on a store card 2 years ago, and I had almost paid it off. I was like $100 away from paying it off, and it had deferred interest, and I wasn't paying attention to when the deferred interest ended, and it ended this last month, and the deferred interest ended up being $800, and I was like, motherfucker. Like, so I've been working on, I think I talked about this in my stupid arbitrary goals video yesterday, about how like my business goals went backwards because I bought a camera and then got hit with some extra stuff. That was the extra stuff. It was just getting kicked in the absolute teeth, like, because it's like all the effort I've gone to like pay off my debt is basically right back where it was when the year started, because I bought a camera and then I just got kicked in the mouth with that deferred interest payment. Dude, don't get into credit card debt. It's such a trap, and it's like I'm doing my best to try to get out of it, but like it is so hard. And it's like I've done it before. I've gotten really close, and then me and the girlfriend broke up, and then the pandemic happened, and then right back where I was. I think I'm actually worse off than I was when I was like, this is untenable, I can't be like this. And now I'm once again like, this is untenable, this can't be like this. And what sucks is, like, at one point, my stocks were enough that I could have cashed out and paid off all the debt. That was when the debt was at its absolute highest. But I was like, as long as this is even, it's fine. And now my stocks are like, I've had to break out and sell stocks just to keep this going. And it's like, what are you gonna do? I don't know. So, yeah, I think that's all I've got. I've got more ideas for videos. But I'm excited to steal time away to make videos for this channel. So, that all said, I hope you're doing well. And if not, I hope that turns around for you here real soon. And we'll see you next time.